Okay, we're going to go ahead and begin here. Greetings, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon. Very excited to be with you here. My name is Kyle. I'm an account executive here at SharpLaunch. We're scheduled for about 15 minutes, getting about a 4-minute late start here. Apologies for that. So if you have questions during the webinar, please put them in the chat. I will do my best to get to as many of them as possible. Again, just thank you everyone for joining today. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Stand by. Okay, there we have it. So today's webinar is how to promote your property listings using SharpLaunch as a marketing hub. And previously we looked at functionality. Some of you I've spoken to directly, maybe some of you were on my last webinar, and some of the user-friendly tools and time-saving processes that are baked into SharpLaunch. But today I'm going to take a step back and focus more on really how SharpLaunch is designed to complement all of your digital marketing efforts and ensure that you get the best visibility really possible for the properties in your portfolio. So let's get into it. And today I'm going to start with a quick anecdote. And so here we have a picture of a waiter, a server. And the reason for that is my job going into my sophomore year in college, I was a server. I accepted the job right before the summer. I was really excited and came back to Pittsburgh to work in this fine dining restaurant. And the first thing my boss said to me was, "What happened to your hair?" So that was his way of saying, go ahead, get a haircut, which I did. I probably increased my tips by cleaning up a little bit. But his phrase was always, "You don't get a second chance to make a first impression." Well, that's debatable. But the thing is with property sites is you really have to nail this, okay? So a couple of the questions I'm going to address that maybe you're already asking is, how can you increase, right, the value of a listing or an asset? A lot of teams come to us and, their biggest challenge is really wanting to improve that trust with potential investors or potential tenant. So how do you do that? I'm going to show you a couple ways. And then finally, everyone's in kind of a different place. Some of you at the very beginning, some of you are maybe in the middle of your journey with digital marketing for commercial real estate. But I'm going to just kind of show you where you could begin and maybe what your next step might be. And so I said it, property websites, right? This is our bread and butter. You have to nail this. And, you really, you can leverage SharpLaunch to save time to make the updates to the properties, and you can have an extremely professional, interactive experience just at your fingertips and for anyone coming onto the website. And then as far as best practices go, you want to ensure that on these sites, you're listing really any key amenities. Anything that's important or special. If you've got a multifamily, with a terrace on the roof and a pool, you can talk about that, obviously. Any awards, you want to talk about your team, but really tell the story of the property site. And we have a ton of modules that you can enable on our property sites to go ahead and do this. It's fully customizable and it's white label, so it's your branded experience. You want to make sure that any of the marketing materials that you get are very high quality, nothing like coming onto a site and seeing outdated materials. And then, this might be a small thing to some, but the site has to be responsive. And what that means is it has to be mobile friendly. We've got that covered with SharpLaunch. All of our sites are mobile first. With 80% of investors and tenants starting their search for properties online, most of them doing it from a mobile, this is an absolute must, and we can help you with that. The next thing you want to really consider is streamlining your communication, right? With my boss, his sage advice was somewhat direct. But everyone really appreciates simple communication process. And your solution here has to be leveraging really the latest and greatest in terms of technology, right? And we've built that. So with that, you're going to have the access to enable either a deal room or a document portal for your customers to come onto the property site and download anything that's really important to them. There's no more emailing out documents. You can just have people with a secure login. They can come right to that property site and get the info they need. The property site can also serve as your information hub. So if you have tenant documents, if you have emergency contacts, things like this, you can have all of that on the SharpLaunch site. And the key here is really that you want to make it very easy for anyone coming onto your site. They don't want to spend lots of time clicking around the company page to find things. If you can, route them quickly to important communications, it's just a great experience for everyone involved. And now you've got your property site set up. We want to connect with your marketing. And so your property website is going to sit at the very center, right, of a valuable digital network that you've invested in, you've spent a lot of time. And this is connecting your building to real people and real opportunities. So think of it as a hub and spoke wheel, right? Your property's at the center. People can easily follow any of these paths right to your doorstep. And the important point here is that it's not to someone else's door, right? This is your experience. You control it using SharpLaunch and promote with your other team's marketing activities. Many of them are listed here, right? And I know what you're thinking, my property, look, it's already listed on LoopNet and CoStar. Isn't that enough? And really, what we're finding is that investing in your digital footprint, it's one of the smartest things you can do when it's managed well. And we give you a simple, centralized way to take control, to get the insights, to really understand what's working, what isn't, and again, create an experience of your own and build a database of your own. So the next step for you, you want to track KPIs. You can do this directly from the back office of SharpLaunch. Some of you have been on a call with me, you've seen that. If you would like to see the back office or the data analytics kind of dashboard that we have for marketing teams and sales teams, I'm happy to run through that with you. But basically, the ones you want to track, if you're not already doing so, are website traffic. We can help you with all this. Visitor sources, where are people coming from? Are your ads on Google or LinkedIn, are they working? Are people coming from CoStar? You can get all of these insights from the SharpLaunch back office. The other thing you can track are leads. How many leads are you generating weekly, monthly? This is really important. I'm sure upper management is asking marketing to report on this. You can click a button and download a report on how that's working. And then the final thing is, of course, is going to be marketing spend. You want to know what's working. You want to test some things out to ensure that you're getting the best ROI. So you're going to continue to optimize, update, test things, refine them, iterate. If there's something that you are really interested in working on, we have a ton of material in terms of best practices that you can start to do. There are a lot of other ideas and a lot of other places that you can go. You can build, a Google My Business page. We just put out an article on that, but this is all going to help increase kind of that visibility. And then, the final piece, final two pieces is really to use SharpLaunch to save time and make updates, but then automate some of these processes that may have been a little more laborious in the past. You may have seen just how easy it is to go ahead and make changes. You can send an email campaign. You can get the readout on how your social campaigns are working. And then the final value that we add is our capability to syndicate. So you want to keep all of your properties up to date. You want to ensure that, if there's an availability, if there's some new images coming in, you go ahead and make those changes, because what we will do is we'll syndicate your properties to a number of our partners, national listings that include Brevitas, Quantum Listing, Commercial Cafe, and Space List. So take advantage of that, get the extra eyeballs. So covered a lot, guys. Happy to field any questions if there are any. Really appreciate your time and joining. If you'd like to learn more or see the platform, I'm more than happy to schedule some time to run through that with you. So it doesn't look like we have any open questions. I'll give it another 30 seconds or so. But yeah, guys, if there's anything specific, please get in touch. I'm happy to schedule some time and talk with you all. Thanks for your time. Have a great one.